In the previous lecture, we have seen how to store information into variables. When we have similar kinds of data to store into memory, instead of creating separate variables, there is a better way to do that. We can create an array of one variable and assign data into it. Arrays can be one or multidimensional. In this lecture, we are focusing on one-dimensional array. Let's consider this example. We have 4 pumpkins and we want to store their weights into variables. Instead of creating 4 variables, we can create one array and save all weights into it. Later, we can access those weights by their index number, which starts from 0. Let's see how we write codes with and without array. If we do not use array, we need to create 4 variables. I'm calling these weight1, weight2, and so on. You can name variables anything you like. Now if I want to see the weight of first pumpkin, I can write code like this. For other 3 variables, the code is similar. Let's see what happens if we use array. After declaring data type of variable weight, we add empty square brackets. On the right side of the equal sign, we write a keyword called new. After a space, write data type again, and finally another square bracket with length of the array. This syntax is same for other data types. Let's assign weights into this array. For the first weight, we add the value inside 0 index. Similar value assignment for other weights. Now if I want to see the weight of first pumpkin, I will find it by accessing index 0 of the array. For second weight, it is in index 1, and so on. Now pause the video and observe the difference between two codes. You can also assign values into an array while declaring it. Instead of defining size of the array, we can directly assign values into curly brackets separated by comma. This is a better way when we have data available while creating an array. The rest of the code is similar as we saw before. We still have room for optimizing the code. Let's see how we can improve it by using loop. Loop is a special way to automate a process. It works great with array. We will learn about different kinds of loop in another lecture. For now, just write these codes into your editor. You will be able to see weights of all pumpkins after running the code. Let's consider another example. Earlier we have simply displayed weights. Now we want to see total weights of all pumpkins. If we do not use array, we can get total weights by adding each variables together. Now think, if we had hundreds of pumpkins, it would become tedious to write all variables. Here array is the way to go. First declare a variable to store total weights. Initially its value is 0. Inside the for loop, we will add each weight with total value and assign it back to total. Finally, we will print total value like this. If you do not understand the code, don't worry. We will cover this in another lecture when we will learn about loops. Here I just wanted to show you the benefits of using arrays. Let's discuss a little bit about character array. It is not different than any other array, but I want to show you a better way to code when we need to work with text. As we already know, character data type can hold only one character into variable. To store a word, we need an array. Now we can print the value by using the array name. But if we want to print it with other text, we need to create a string object. There is a property called length to view the size of any types of array. If we want to see individual character from the array, we can pass the index number and print the value of that position. As index starts from 0, accessing index 2 will return us third character from the array. Now let's see how we can improve the code using a special class called string. It is not a primitive data type like int, float, double, or character. Any text operation with string is much simpler and it has lots of functionality. We will learn more about string throughout the course. Here is how we declare and initialize a string. Make sure to write string with capital S, otherwise Java will show you error. Printing a string is same as printing a character array. To add two strings together, simply add a plus sign between them. To view the size of a string, there is a method called length. Make sure to add a parenthesis after it. Viewing individual character from a string is also different than an array. Here the method name is char@, with index number inside the parenthesis. Make sure to capitalize A of char@. Now pause the video for a moment, compare both codes, and test them into your editor. Before wrap up the lecture, let's see how multidimensional arrays look like. A chessboard is a perfect example of two-dimensional array. Unlike one-dimensional array, it has two indexes. When both indexes are 0, we get the first value of the array. Similarly, to view the value of 7th row and 6th column, we write index 6 and 5 respectively. Rubik's Cube is a great example of a three-dimensional array. It has three axes, x, y, and z. It doesn't matter which axis is in which side. To access a value from the array, we need to use three indexes together.